Okay, so it seems like more and more this kind of stuff is happening in the anime space and the VTubing space as well, because one kind of thing that's kind of confused me is the lack of mention of things like VTubers in anime, because obviously anime and VTubers are so closely connected due to the fact of, they have the anime styles. It's confusing because there's only been a few anime out there that have really covered VTubers. For example, that one VTuber that got really drunk on stream in some kind of anime, it was essentially a whole kind of thing, and it was really, really cool to see. But it seems like we're seeing more and more VTubers interacting with anime and also being featured in anime, which I kind of wanted to talk about today as the latest episode of Oshi No Ko came out, and it seems like they've delved into VTubers a little bit more. Now, why have I got Mori Calliope up here? Well, if you don't know, obviously Mori Calliope has been featuring in a lot of the recent animes and stuff, including Gachiakuta, which we covered a lot of the stuff that was going on with that situation. Essentially, she did the opening for the song, and also that song got featured within a fight scene, which I thought was really, really cool. And it seems like VTubers are starting to collab with anime quite a bit, and it seems like the anime industry is starting to I guess get an idea of how popular VTubers are and how much they can actually interact them into the anime space, as well as including them into the actual anime itself. And this is where the episode of Oshi No Ko comes in, because if you don't know, they recently just uploaded a new episode and it was really, really good. Really, really enjoyed it. And it seems like, obviously, with Oshi No Ko, they cover a lot of different characters with different kind of, I guess, fields in the entertainment industry, whether it's a producer, whether it's an actor, whether it's a, content creator. We got like Mem, who obviously is a YouTuber. It's like your typical YouTuber, streamer type person. And now it seems like we finally have like a fully fledged VTuber, which I thought was really, really cool. And it seems that they've actually gone fully into depth about what a VTuber is and how a VTuber works, which I think is really cool, right? Because lots of anime and lots of places have done VTubers before, but they never really do enough research into it, and they kind of don't go into detail about the actual workings of it. But this definitely shows the understanding of VTubers much more. And it just seems like the researchers of this show have actually done their kind of due diligence to find out, what programs people use, what kind of things to talk about whenever talking about VTubers. And honestly, I think it's absolutely amazing. This is the clip here. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen the show, this is essentially a director asking his sister to go on a show because he's running out of like cosplayers that do it. And yeah, essentially his sister is also a VTuber, which is really, really cool. This is the clip. So yeah, as you can see here already, you got like the OBS up in the top, and then you've also got the live 2D thing. Now, obviously, the live 2D is probably a little bit big, and also you're missing like the phone, which a lot of VTubers would probably use. But again, I still think it is very much acceptable, and it is a pretty, accurate representation, I guess, of what a VTuber setup would really look like, right? And I think that is pretty cool. And obviously, yeah, they go on to talk about like cosplayers, that he needs cosplayers, and then obviously, yeah, they say, besides, did you forget what I do? So yeah, she does cosplay and VTubing, which, yeah, that's something important. And yeah, here they go into the actual workings of VTubers, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, they even mention live 2D. Like, they've done their research, right? They don't just go, oh, they use motion tracking. They use live 2D and 3D CG stuff, right? Which I think is really cool. And obviously, they got the motion trackers on her saying to sync their motion tracked bodies to virtual avatars. Yeah, you can see, a lot of VTubers have started to do that a lot more now, especially. So that's really, really cool. And there, I mean, very good representation. So yeah, obviously they go into like the statistics of VTubers as well, saying that the rise of VTubers is actually pretty huge and there's major VTuber agencies. So they go into the fact that there's even agencies that exist. And I just think it is great. I think it's great for a series like this that goes so into depth into creation and to like TV and film and content creation and all this kind of stuff, that they actually do their research on the fact that VTuber agencies do exist. It's, a growing trend. It's something big. They use live 2D, they use this tracking, they use that tracking, which I think is really, really nice. And yeah, obviously they say it's growing. They also talk about like the metaverse a little bit. I mean, again, I think this is just something to, I guess, make it seem more futuristic. I don't really think the VTubers are making waves in the metaverse market. I don't even know what a metaverse market would even look like. But that was the only thing that I thought was like, I don't really know. But again, I still think it was a pretty good, you know, representation with this bit as well.
ムーブメントは成熟期を迎え、現在 VTuber の総数は1万超え。明らかに飽和したマーケットだ。
But yeah, obviously they're saying, hey, you know, there's a lot of VTubers now. It's gotten very popular, so it's very, very saturated, which is partially true, right? VTubers are a very popular thing now, and it is, you know, you have to really make yourself stand out if you want to be a successful one. And obviously they go onto the YouTube channel, as you can see, literally just below, the actual kind of thumbnails and stuff look very, very similar to what a usual VTuber's thumbnails would look like, right? On a YouTube live page, which I think is cool. Obviously, they say she has over 300,000 subscribers, and they'll say, yeah, she was doing like cosplays, and essentially he taught her about VTubing, and he's acted as a manager. And yeah, that's about it. Obviously, he convinces her to do some cosplaying for a TV show. But that's about it, right? And I did think it was really cool how much they've gone into depth about VTubing and how much they have actually understood, you know, what is going on and how things work, to the point where, you know, it's something that even, you know, people like me or people like you who understand VTubing at a much deeper level than maybe an average person would, can go, yeah, you know, that's actually pretty correct. Most of it is correct. And, you know, a lot of it seems pretty accurate, which obviously adds a little bit more into the, depth of the story itself. I feel like, you know, you can get more involved in it because you understand a lot of the nuances that are being included in it. And I think that's really cool, right? And I think it does obviously tie back into this whole Mori Calliope thing that I'm saying, right? Is the anime industry is kind of cozying up a little bit more to VTubers now. And hopefully this is, you know, a trend that happens, you know, more so in the future too, with obviously, you know, VTubers being featured in shows like Oshi No Ko, but also VTubers, you know, doing collaborations, like actual real life VTubers doing collaborations with shows like Gachiakuta and more, to make songs, openings, or even any kind of promotion. It doesn't even have to be an opening, right? And I think that is really, really cool. And they've found a way to kind of tie them in together, which I think is probably the best way forwards for both kind of industries, right? And I think that the anime industry, as I said, have noticed how popular, you know, VTubers are at the moment. And the VTuber industry already knows how popular anime is. So it's kind of like a win-win for both of them, because they get the promotion for their show. And obviously people from the show also get the promotion to the VTuber themselves, which they can go and watch and maybe stream their music and stuff. And again, they've got so many more like interviews and stuff with Mori Calliope talking about the Gachiakuta opening. And yeah, obviously, as I said, there was some hate. This was one of the posts that I made on it. There was a lot of hate towards her just because of Mori Calliope. It's not due to the fact that she was in an anime necessarily. I mean, it could have been slightly, but again, I don't think that really needs to affect anything. I think people need to understand that, hey, you know, this is going to be a more common thing, and hopefully, you know, we do see more VTubers getting involved with anime in the future. And I think that, as I said, with shows like Oshi No Ko, I think they are really opening up, to the idea of VTubing and having a good kind of idea of what it is like. Because again, even like the OBS is pretty accurate behind the screen. And again, I just think that's cool. I think it's a very accurate representation, and I hope this happens more so in the future whenever it comes to VTubers being featured in anime and things like that. But yeah, I mean, this was essentially like an idea that I just thought of in my head in terms of just kind of talking about, because I was watching this episode and I was like, damn, wait, hold up. They actually like know their stuff. Like, I was actually genuinely surprised. I thought they were just going to gloss over it and be like, yeah, she does like motion tracking and that's about it. And yeah, she just has this like virtual avatar that she motion tracks, and that was going to be it. But no, they went into it into detail and actually really, you know, hit the ground running with that one. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what the future of VTubers is like in terms of the anime space, and hopefully we can see obviously more more VTubers being featured in anime episodes as characters, and also as real life VTubers interacting with anime for openings and stuff like that, like Mori Calliope there. So again, I hope that does happen more so in the future. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.